when I put those in,
Are we supposed to be up here?
23.9 something.
One,
111.
to the figures that,
The same figure that you had in the thing anyways?
yeah.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Anything more?
No, I don't want to go over it anymore. I don't
No,
have
no, no,
patience.
no.
So,
Yeah, so you are there.
23,951 is what I got off QuickBooks.
But if the difference was, yeah, 23,951.
Is the difference between what you originally put in the budget, or what your last entry that I saw,
Got it.
and what QuickBooks said. So 24 is a round number that I think is worth using.
Yeah, and
And did you put 24 there, or 23,951?
Lisa, I love your t-shirt.
I love the person wearing the t-shirt.
Well, I do too. Very cool t-shirt.
Lorraine, you're not sitting here again?
No.
Oh, okay.
I have to tell you the story because my girlfriend gives me one more time.
What's your reading?
I love to paint rocks. That would be a great.
Okay, everyone, welcome back. Welcome to everybody online as well. This isn't a board meeting. We don't approve the minutes. Is that right, Steve?
I know I'm right, but I won't. No, I just reminded him of it earlier.
We don't do that. We don't have minutes from last year.
Just telling you.
We do them from December, and every month is approved. Yeah. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the annual general meeting of 2025. So, Reverend Karen, if you would come up and treat us in.
Oh, please join me. Taking a deep breath in. Feeling that energy, that love, that peace, and absolute transparency of all that is to come. And in this moment, I just absolutely welcome what needs to be said, what needs to be heard, what needs to be shared, what needs to be put into place as we review 2025 and move forward, moving this collective consciousness and energy into 2026. I'm so very grateful for this teaching, for this board, for each and every person that is here in this room and online, contributing to the overall success and outcome of today's meeting. It is knowing that all is well. And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you. Okay, so Swan, if you will match me as I go through this, so because I can't really see behind me. So, welcome. So what are we doing today? So every year when we have our annual meeting, the primary thing is to tell you where we are financially and what we're doing financially as we move forward. That's number one. The second important thing about the annual meeting is to make sure that our board is vibrant and strong. We have 2 people leaving the board today and a slate of 2 people that we are recommending to the congregation to vote in for the board. And we will talk about that when we get to it. Kevin? Oh, Swan? It's on YouTube. Okay, great. Yes, and the minutes can be transcribed from that when we finish today. I'm giving a heads up to our new secretary. Yes. And also to take a look at what we've done in 2025 and where we're going in 2026. And also the point of this meeting is to give you, the congregation, and Swan, you'll handle the ones online if they write anything in, to ask questions to the board and to me and to talk about where we're going and what we're doing. Okay? So that's the welcome. And so the first thing we want to look at is 2025 happenings. So much happened this year. I do not have pictures of everything, but I'll go through a couple of the things. The first thing that came up was the Seder, the New Thought Seder that we did this year in Palm Springs, which was extremely successful and beautiful. I'm just going to go through these very quickly. The taco trivia with Judd and Lisa, that of course happened this year. Many of the divine dinings happened, but I have that picture of that. And Guatemala benefit. We had a wonderful benefit at our house this year where we raised, how much did we raise, Kevin? We raised like $30,000 for Guatemala. It was a beautiful, beautiful event. And who knew when we had that event that it would be the last time we would have an event like that at our house. So, but now we'll have a bigger one in Palm Springs to have it at. Go ahead, Swan. The summer pool party. Where is Erin? Oh, she's sick? Oh, well, Erin, we send you our love. Thank you, Liza. So that was the summer pool party, and then the fall fling pool party. So we've had a number of pool parties at our house. The holiday boutique, that's the lemon cake. Yeah. Yeah. Now everybody wants a piece of lemon cake. Yeah. I know, right? Yeah, it does look good. Anton, I believe Dr. Thor was ordained this year at Anton. And did you? And Dr. Kathy was ordained this year. And Dr. Holly. Yes, all 3 of you. And doctorates. Who got doctorates this year? Pam. No, Brad got his master's degree. Yes, you got your doctorate this year, finally, Holly. So Pam and Gary, yes. This is an actual picture from the night we did the Labyrinth Walk. Anton is a beautiful, wonderful organization that we are now a part of and have been for a number of years. And every year we go on the Anton retreat, which is it feels like what a Silomar used to feel like. So for any of you who would like to go on the retreat this year, it is open to the public. And it's in a bigger, they just created a big conference hall that we started using last year. So please let us know if you would like to go. And we'll talk more about that as we get closer to it. What does Anton stand for? Affiliated New Thought Network. So it's the network of New Thought churches throughout the world. Okay. We also did the GTC Telethon, which was very successful this year. And this year was a different take on it, because this year's telethon was a comedy telethon that Thor and Tiffany and I hosted. And it really proved to be a very successful event for us. So who knows what we'll do next year. Maybe next year will be a ballet telethon. That was a joke. Yes. Soul immersion. So we are revising soul immersion this year coming up, where we're going to do it the first Sunday of every month at 5 o'clock. So it will be in the evening. And part of that is the research I did on what's the time of day and day of week where people are most inclined to come to something like a sound bath. And it was a Sunday, saying Sunday evenings when the week is over and they can conclude their week and start their new week from that perspective. So we're going to try that this year on Sundays. And it's also geared because it's not just for our congregation, but Lisa and myself, we are going to start really, where are you, Lisa? Really promoting this out in the world to bring more people to us for the experiential. And then I'm sure they'll be interested in seeing, well, what do you do earlier on Sunday? So, and then next, that's the sound. This is what it was. Yes, we have changed this. I'm still in 2025. This is what we did this year. And I want to send and ask for a round of applause for Scott, for Judd, for Swan, and for the Christie. You know, I don't think people realize just how much Judd's contribution to this enhanced what the sound bath is like. And also what Swan's contribution to this. I mean, Scott and I, we've been doing this, and it's our baby for 3 years. But when they really joined us, the expansion of this is amazing. And just to take it back up and for a little bit of appreciation for our people, what Swan has done coming in and taking over a lot of what's been going on here is amazing. Yes. And we will get her a microphone for the booth, although that does scare me a little bit. Yes. Okay, next. Eric. I don't know where Dr. Eric is today.
He's on a men's retreat.
Oh, that's right. He's in a men's retreat. He did tell me that. All of the experiential that we are doing here is so, so, so important, which is why I gave the talk I gave today. This is where we're going. As a spiritual community, we are going and leaning into an understanding of how the brain works, how the mind works. What's the physiology of what we're doing here? Glenda asked me a great question. Glenda said, okay, I have this habit, and I want to get rid of this habit. How do I eliminate that neural pathway? And the answer to that question is, you don't. Once you create a neural pathway, it's there. It can weaken, but you need to create the neural pathway that you go to instead of that one. So that's why I'm talking about spiritual practice, to do something like 9D breath work. The more you do that work, or like Doug is doing with his heart math, or like we do with the 90 megahertz treatments or meditations, the more we do those, the deeper the divot gets in our neural pathways. That's our go-to. So that's what this is all about. And Dr. Eric's class is amazing. Dr. Eric is also going to be on the last Sunday of every month. We're going to keep it on Sundays. So we'll do sound bath at the first Sunday. He'll do 9D workshop on the last Sunday of every month. At 5, yes. Mm-hmm. Our youth has been with Shauna Williams, who is off today. But as you know, are you here, Genevieve? No? Maybe she's getting coffee. She will be taking over with Hannah Blaisdell. So the two of them will be working together. Hannah. So the women's group. The women's group has been on hiatus. And the women's group obviously needs a revamping, a reimagination, and a recommitment to a dynamic women's group, which we used to have. But then the fracture happened in the center, and there were a lot of things that went on, and people moved on to other things. So coming into this year, the women would like to really solidify and step into a vibrant women's group. And I picked this picture just to remind us all of Jo Jordan. She was a vibrant part of the women's group and we will miss her dearly. So that's the women's group. I don't have a slide in here for the men's group. I am starting a men's group for the center. I keep asking people to start men's groups, and I'm like, you know what? I'm now here Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I'm probably going to be living out here. So I was like, I'll start a men's group. It'll be on Monday nights, and I'll start a men's group and get men together to talk about what we need to talk about and to create a real movement for the men in this. There is not a men's group connected with Global Truth Center. Yeah, some of the men who were part of a men's group before I even got here, right, still meet in the park. Do you still go to that? No.
They alternate.
Yeah. So, but obviously a new one is coming. Next. So fundraising. Marilyn Murphy and Jill Mizell worked in 2025. They are not working in 2026. In 2026, it will be Kevin Bailey and Marcy Welland spearheading the whole thing. But I want you to look at what was done this year. And you'll see it when we get to the budget of how much was raised in fundraising. The arts, we did the Christmas Carol. We did Sissy Boy. We did readings of plays. We did a lot of work in the arts department for this center. And we did One of the Bells Are Swingings. So, and we did some other play too. Oh, also, I'll Give You My Heart. So we raised a lot of money in the arts this year to support the center. The Christmas Boutique, Diane and Kevin, great job this year, did terrific. Bunko, did we have a Bunko this year? Okay, we have to have a Bunko next year. It's one of my favorite things. Where's Corrine? We have to have a Bunko this year. And Karen, you're the Bunko queen too. In fact, you're the Bunko Nazi. But yes, yeah. We did not do bingo this year. Did we do a bingo this year? No. Okay. We need to do a. Yes, we did. We did a bingo. Yes. Yes, we did. Soul Immersion is obviously in there. Concerts, the annual telethon. We didn't do Wine and Wisdom. We did the wine tour this year, which was a huge success. And we are planning a wine tour this coming year. So, and we should do a poker night. Yeah, because you can, yeah. And here's the thing. If you have ideas, which many of you have come up with, for events for 2026, please reach out to Kevin or to Marcy and let them know. Who is it that just came to me with an event?
Karina and I just spoke. I don't know if that's who spoke to you.
No, it's us. Yes. Do you want to tell them about that event?
Well, there's something happening in our community I've been a part of for about 4 different occasions, and it's called the Great Race of Agora. And it's a 10K, a half marathon, a 5K, a 1 mile, all of those things. And it's right around Agora Hills High School, and it ends at Chumash Park. And it's a wonderful opportunity for us to be involved as a community, have a presence there on site at the end of the race. We can have a booth. Yes, I spoke with the event coordinator the other day. And also, I did it as a fundraiser where I ran and I reached out to all my friends and I said, sponsor me per mile. And it was amazing what I was able to raise. And I think this consciousness gives us an opportunity to be love in action, to be moving. We can have shirts that have our message on it. And also we can reach out to all our friends and say, sponsor me per mile. I have a problem when it's like, give to whatever I'm into. But if it's, hey, I'm doing something that's challenging to myself, be my big cheerleader and show your support by helping me through the miles, and the proceeds go to our center. So I think it gives us an opportunity to be a presence in the community, to share what we're all about, and also be teammates. You know, I mean, families can come out. You can just do 1 mile. If you want to walk, you can do that. It has all different levels, and it's really an exciting opportunity. It's April 11th, so just in your consciousness.
Great. And as you're asking your friends to sponsor your running, you get to tell them what their sponsorship's about, what we do here, who we are. So it's really a win-win in every direction for this. And I'm really excited to do this. Yes. Great. And the Divine Dinings and Doings, Kevin and Marcy are on top of those to really build those out for this coming year. So, next. Karen, this is you. Our biggest part of this center is practitioners, what practitioners do in our center. So, yeah, there you go. So this is the 2025 year-end report.
Fun. Okay.
Guy Swan, next slide.
Thank you. Just a real quick rundown of our practitioner team, who we are. We are. Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. First, thank you to all the practitioners that are in this room and online. Here at the Global Truth Center, this year we've had 43 practitioners. Here locally in California, Pennsylvania, Washington, and Paris. So, would the practitioners in the room please stand? Thank you. Thank you so much, and to those of you online for all the work. In addition to the 43 practitioners, we have 9 practitioner students in training. Thank you, Dr. Tiffany, for your leadership. Your practitioner team is led by, co-led by myself, Carissa McElhaney, and Mitch Alcorn, under the direction of Dr. James Mellon. And our purpose for the community is through our directed, purposeful, conscious, and active communications. To our personal spiritual practice, we serve the vision, mission, and intentions of this center. We do that for the center and for each of you here. Our ministry, what we do, you see us show up here on Sunday service responsibilities like inspiration, meditation, our consciousness on demand, and not only on Sundays, but we provide consciousness on demand or prayer treatments for anyone who reaches out to us. And you can do that via online or call myself or any of the practitioners on the team, so that it's like a prayer tree where we can know the truth for you and what's going on in your world. Compassionate care, if you are in need or need transportation or in addition to treatment or meals or things along those lines, please let us know so we can help you with that. We do Fifth Sunday support roles. That was to help this whole past year. I think we had 7 Fifth Sundays to where practitioners came, provided food, reception, greeting, and all the important roles for the Sunday service. We do revealing circles. That is like where we sit in a circle and we do a beautiful, beautiful process for healing and revealing of what is maybe going on in your life. We also teach classes. So this is ongoing, and how we do that to energize, to support, to elevate our consciousness, the practitioners have bi-monthly meetings. We participated last year in a one-day workshop Dr. James led, incorporating vibrational energy into the prayer treatments. We had a 2.5-day Sierra retreat in Malibu, California, and I believe we had like 50 people that attended that. It was practitioners or spouses, board members, and we even opened it up for some of the general membership. And we're looking to do that again this year. We have to increase our confidence and our consciousness. We have continuing education requirements that we need to participate throughout the year to level up what we offer to you. We do tithing. We are present at community events and conferences throughout the year. So, next slide. For 2026, going forward, and I don't know if you can read this or not, but I just want to share. Going forward, same responsibilities, obviously, that we've been providing for this year. However, we are going to have more revealing circles here in Westlake. We're going to do one each quarter, and we're going to do something new and have a revealing circle in Palm Springs. And so that'll be the first time we have done that. Inviting our current GTC practitioners to travel to Palm Springs and help them kick off the program there. We are actually going to do a new practitioner retreat in Palm Springs this year. We're going to increase our community presence. That's a program that you've heard or maybe hearing more from Dr. James, that Dr. Tiffany and Dr. Kirby are working on, increasing our community presence. We're also going to be increasing our national presence. That's at conferences and events. I know Dr. Lori and Dr. Liza are both going to be speaking at the Deepening Roots Conference. That's going to be in Arizona in March. And we have increased participation at the Anton Conference. That'll be in October of next year. I believe Dr. Lori is even serving on one of the key committees in putting together that program. And then we have ongoing educational requirements. We all as practitioners need to participate in not only our retreats, but also looking at what other outside activities that we could do to keep providing our strength, our consciousness to each of you. So that's a pretty good summary of past and going forward.
Thank you, Dr. Karen. That was great.
No, Scott did.
So, next up, GTC Outreach, Love in Action. Dr. Tiffany? Yeah, Kirby's right there.
I'll just kick it off by saying this was really just that came out of the love and consciousness and kindness and wanting to give back. That also, I love it when things have multiple benefits. It has the benefit of getting us out into the community, getting people to know who we are, that we exist, and also an opportunity for us to do good works out into the world. So this sort of, Dr. Kirby had been ruminating on it. I had this awakening at the Anton Conference in October, and out of that came, next slide, maybe.
Yeah, it's,
Okay. Oh,
you
all
just
right.
have to keep, yeah, there we go. So our outreach focus, you can click on it, Swan.
Oh, he's so small. So
Oh,
cute.
it's too small. Well, I have it here. Our focus is on empowerment and of ourselves and of the local Conejo Valley. So we are reaching out to many organizations that are here in the Conejo Valley to partner with them. Can you, there you go, 4 components. So one being in-service projects, so going to those locations or supplying these, gift wrapping, making lunches, volunteering for these places, 501(c)(3)s. Number 2, we're gonna partner with outside organizations. So that would look like, hosting an event or activities for these places. Financial, and so that means a percentage of Sunday service tithes to an organization of that month. So we'll be focusing on a particular organization every month and a half. And then 4th is donation drives, food, diapers, backpacks, baskets. These are all things that are needed within the community, and there's so much more. So we've decided on a quarterly focus. So, and it's roughly. So we wanted to look at human rights. You can go to the next slide, Swan. Human rights, mental health, spreading joy, like enrichment or fun, and focusing on hunger, shelter, resource security. So let's see. So next slide.
I just want to add that, like, all of this is in line with the kindness theme for 2026. And we want to get together as a community. So when we go out into the world, we want to actually, coming up is a day of service, which Kirby will touch on. It's one of our last slides, where we can actually go out together and actually feed people and actually build houses for Habitat for Humanity, get involved and roll up our sleeves and get our hands dirty. And then also the contributions and the donations. So we want it to be multifaceted. So no matter what you're called to do, there's an opportunity to get involved at any level that you want.
And I want to sound out a notice to Glenda for taking us to Mana.
Yes.
Yes,
Thank
absolutely.
you, Glenda.
Because that's pretty amazing. 928 pounds.
928 pounds of food.
What?
So we
Did we hit 1,000? I'm going to say we did. We did. We set a goal. We were just like, can we do 1,000 pounds? And we did. And that was just everybody rallying around the cause. And we just want to keep that momentum going. And again, thank you, Glenda. We will continue, Mana will continue to be a featured organization. That, of course, we can the bucket will still be there. Please continue to donate to Mana all year long, but we will make sure that they're in the rotation so that we can collect thousands of pounds for Mana each year.
And that 928, just under 1,000 pounds, came from all of us, all of you. That when we come together with focus and compassion and purpose, this is what we can do. We can deliver in a really big way, and that's a real important part of what we want to do. Just like Lisa said earlier, we want to let people know who we are and be available to the community as this point of light in Westlake. So that was in 2025. We started at the end of the year. And then moving forward, we've talked to several organizations that we're cooking up things to do. There's many mansions, and they help with transition from homelessness to housing. And there's so many things that we can do in partnership to many mansions. One of them being a spring Easter fair that they put on for the kids and the teens, and we're going to have a booth, and there's other volunteer opportunities that we can do. You can volunteer at a booth where they have games or whatever that they need. We are actually having a tour next Saturday at 10 a.m. at many mansions. If you guys want to join us, you can just look up their address, and they're going to tell us a little bit about what they do and show us the campus. And there are many different campuses around Southern California that house their clients. So there's the Conejo Community Outreach, which is a diaper bank, and Casa Pacifica. So that is Centers for Children and Families, again, transitioning from homelessness, and also domestic violence. So it's supporting children and family and women that are trying to get out of that situation. There is the Thrive Grove Homeless Center that is new in Thousand Oaks, and they are actually connected to many mansions, which I did not know. And James Storehouse and Adelante Conejo. So, and they all serve underrepresented communities in the community at large. So foster kids aging out of the system, that's a big push for James Storehouse that we like to do. and Adelante is for the underserved immigrant population and those that are on the fringes that are not receiving the care that they need. And so we are wanting to partner with many different organizations to help that. And you guys can be a part of that, whatever calls to you. There's also Unity Conejo that supports the LGBTQ community. They have a June picnic, a Pride picnic that we are going to have a table at and participate in. And also there is Speakeasy, which is a community group that is educating and empowering people in the community to get involved with, all other activities that are going on. So this is the day of service that we want to announce for Adelante. I have the flyer here, which has a QR code for you to set up, to sign up with. And so they're going to have many activities to do. So you can help receive the food donations. You can help sort it. You can help unload it. You can do fix-up projects and all sorts of other activities. So I'm going to have the flyer out there.
We will be there. We are putting
Yes.
together a group. We want to go out. It's Martin Luther King Day. What a better day to go out and get involved in the community and to help. So we're putting together a group of people that want to go. It's from 9 to 1 on Monday, January 19th. So if you are interested in joining us, come see us. Also, we have T-shirts.
Yes, so these are the volunteer T-shirts for Global Truth Center, and we have two different cuts. So this is the women's cut, and then we have the men's cut as well. So we are encouraging you to order a T-shirt because this logo is not going to be around much longer. So this is
In fact,
this
will be an antique in less than a month.
Get your legacy T-shirt.
It's a legacy T-shirt.
This is a collector's
Yes.
item
Yes.
because as of March 1st, we are a different center, which we are going to get to momentarily.
And so please see us afterwards. We have a sign-up sheet. You can tell us what size you want and what cut you want, and we want to order. The more that we order, the less that they are. And so that's about it. Anything else, Stephanie?
I just want to say, don't worry, Marilyn Murphy. We will be wrapping gifts this year. We missed it because we started so late, but Many Mansions
Yes.
has a gift wrapping opportunity, and I haven't forgotten about you. We will be wrapping gifts
So
this
can we
year.
have a
Also
round of
James
applause
Storehouse.
for everything they're doing? Excellent. Okay, next up is education. This really is the backbone of our center. And I just want to tell you kind of what we're doing right now. So I'm teaching advanced consciousness. It's the largest advanced consciousness class I have had. It's from students all over the country. Do we have any outside the country this time? Last year it was we had 2 years ago was, and then last year we had someone in, I forget. But largest class, it is a very intense class where we throw everything against the wall and see what sticks, right, Doug? Yes. Our motto is question everything. And our year, which starts really in September, I just finished what I considered the greatest mental muscle I've ever been a part of. It was a terrific group of people, 48 people, I think, and it was really spectacular. It's a new way of teaching mental muscle. And so mental muscle just finished. Advanced consciousness is going on. Reverend Dr. Tiffany is teaching the practitioner class right now. And Dr. Rick Tamlin will be teaching a class in the spring called Quantum Creativity. It's based on a book called Quantum Creativity. And he is teaching it to the world. It is being brought forward from his company, which is called, nope, not Produce You. It's All Made Up. I Am You. EIAMU. Yes. So, and Global Truth Center. So we will have a much larger play out in the world with starting to teach classes that are not just for Global Truth Center, but for the world to come in and take our classes. And so he will be teaching that class. It will be an eight-week class through the Emerson Institute. So it will be curriculum will be accredited for each student that takes it. And I'm continuing to create more classes. I'm about to teach, and this you'll see this is the first vision of this. Go ahead, Swan. QBODs. But it's a new version of QBODs, and it's an advanced version with what I learned last year when I did 16 weeks of Wild Fit. And I am putting a lot of what I learned there into QBODs. So that is going to start, as you see here, on February 2nd. I will still be teaching CPR. In the fall, I will do mental muscle again. It's always September through December. And our vision for this year is to really step away from a small community classroom to a worldwide classroom. And the Emerson Institute, I am now on the faculty of the Emerson Institute, so all the classes I teach will be sent out into that field as well. So take a class and be part of the growing and the ongoing evolution of this center. There are other classes that are going to be taught this year too. We're just putting them together. And a lot of Saturday workshops, you know, because a lot of people want to teach, but we only have so many slots to do 8-week courses. But we have amazing teachers at this center, and I'm opening it up to create, you know, full-day workshops, which I hope, Joselito, you will teach one sometime this year. So that's about our education. Okay, finances from 2025. I'm sure the most fun part of today's presentation will be Doug's talking about our finances from this year. Can I get him a microphone? Yeah, take that. Oh, yes. I'm going to create a new podcast this year. You know how we'd started with the interview right before COVID happened? Well, we're now going to, Swan and I together are going to create the interview podcast. And John Rossi, who's one of our practitioners from Pennsylvania, sent me these TikToks from this 20-something influencer who has over 829,000 followers. And it was all about quantum metaphysics. But the way he did it was so unique and so him. And I did some research and found him. I went to his website. I sent him a contact, and I just said, hey, I teach quantum metaphysics. What if you came onto my podcast and started my podcast by being my first guest? And he wrote right back to me, said, well, I'm really kind of a dummy when it comes to all of that. And let me tell you, he's not. I said, that's perfect, because I am too. So we'll both talk about this. So that's where we're going with, certainly with what Lisa is doing to get what we're doing here out into the world, bless you, to bring people onto our podcast that have 829,000 followers so that when they go to look up what this guy's talking about on that podcast, they'll find us. But they won't find who we were. They will find who we are, which means we need to, and we are in the midst of creating a new website, a new name, new direction of where we're going, which I will get to right after this. Doug, it is all yours.
Are we going to show?
Yes, we are. So here's the thing about our year. 2025 was a very difficult year for a lot of people in a lot of ways. Every month, the board talked about finances. Where are we? When we got to the end of August, perhaps, we were close to $50,000 in the red, just to be clear. So we made some very smart decisions going forward, and we're going to talk about those today. But first, let's look at the financials for 2025. So here is the income for the year, and what you see there is budget 25. That's what we budgeted, and the actuals for 2025.
Okay, so It was my pleasure and somewhat burden to. It was my pleasure and somewhat my burden to serve as the treasurer. It was a difficult year, and when you look at the total income there, the total contributions were significantly below what we budgeted. And that is primarily because the stewardship that we budgeted for at the Westlake Center was about $46,000 higher than the actual giving for Westlake stewardship. And that pretty much explains that difference. So our total income is what you see, and we can go to the next slide.
Wait, you missed the positive stuff. So we budgeted $100,000 for classes, but we brought in $104,522.
Yeah.
That rivals any other New Thought church right now that's teaching classes, to be very honest. So that's a big part of what kept us afloat this year. Total contributions, as Doug said, is down by $32,000 based on what we budgeted. Fundraising income was also down this year because we didn't do as many fundraisers as we had done in the years before. The rental retreat income, we had income from rental and retreat. Remember, we used to have a synagogue here every Friday night. So that was $36,000 a year of income that we then lost when the pandemic hit. So we've always been beyond, so we thought we could still rent out last year, but we ended up not renting anything last year. And the retreat income is actually in fundraising income this year. So actually fundraising is even lower because retreat income is in there. So there's our total income. So if you look, the difference, you'll see the difference in the next slide. Good?
Yeah, good.
Expenses?
Next slide, please, Swan. So you can see the worship service expenses were under budget. The fundraiser expenses were over budget, but the reason for that was when we prepared the budget, and let me take a step back. Every year in December, Dr. James looks at our actuals up to that point, and then he puts something together, and then he shares it with me. And what we're looking at, the point of this is, we're looking at what actually we experienced last year in terms of expenses and giving, and then try to think, is there going to be a difference in the coming year? And if we can identify a difference, we'll factor that in, but otherwise what our actuals were tends to get into the projected budget amount for the next year. With fundraising, we didn't have a wine tour a couple of years ago. In fact, for a couple of years, we haven't had a wine tour. So when we did the budget for 2025, there was no wine tour expense to look at and compare with. So in 2025, we had a wine tour. It was very successful, but it's expensive. It raised about, if I recall, over $9,000, and it costs about half of that for the bus driver, the wineries, and all that. So it's a significant fundraising expense that got left out of the budget just because we didn't have a wine tour the year before, and we didn't know for sure what we were going to do at the time we did it. Mm-hmm. And that forgive me for taking so long with that, but you can apply that to some of these other things. There's not much difference. In fact, we did a very good job in keeping expenses under control last year. Most of them came in under the budgeted amount. The class expenses were higher because class income was higher. Class income is something, as Dr. James pointed out, we exceeded $100,000 in class income. Half of that goes to the teachers of those classes, so our class expenses went up. In terms of our building expenses, rent is in building expenses,
Yes.
right? Yep. Okay, so we projected 174,500, and we came in just under that. For next year, you will see that our rent expense is significantly less, and so we will be saving some money there.
And if you look at the total personnel, we also redid how we are paying our personnel. Who do we actually need? What's the work that we need done here? So you'll see a difference. Usually those are very equal, but we had already, by September, we knew we had to change how we were hiring people and who we were hiring to do what. So once you take go ahead, Swan, to the next one. Once you go through our income and our expenses, you'll see that we ended the year with a $24,000 deficit. Doug can show you, and we can all show you, that's really mostly, it's all from stewardship and contributions. And, you know, this is one of the first years I've had to sit here with a red number up there. And it was a difficult year. And most of what I got from people was that I don't know where my money's going, what's happening in the world. And people were afraid to give. And I got a lot of those stories. And I look at the stewardship numbers. I see what someone has contributed, what they have set their contribution as, and then I see where they end up at the end of the year. I will tell you truthfully, I think people landed very healthfully with their stewardship. And I think people, for the most part, were extremely responsible to this giving. But there were a number of people that had a very difficult year, and it added up to not meeting the stewardship amount that we had considered at the top of the year. So I don't feel, you know, I believe prosperity is a given, even as I'm looking at a red number up there. Because what this board did instantly, when we got to August, when I got back from my vacation, and we saw where we were, we instantly made decisions. We instantly moved expenses around, and we instantly made that decision to get rid of downstairs. We pay $14,000 and something a month to have both floors, and they're not being used anymore because it's a different world after COVID. Half of our congregation watches from online and are outside the parameters of this center. So that whole space over there wasn't being used at all. And downstairs was being used once a week, if that. And so we now have this sanctuary set to begin reconstruction. What is it, Kevin? The beginning of February, right? Yeah. And it's going to be beautiful. It makes such sense to have an office up here, to have a meditation room up here, to have a giant fellowship area that's bigger than downstairs fellowship area, because we went over it last week and the girls came up here and they were like, oh my God, this is bigger than downstairs. And it will be. And it will all be held right here. And we save over $38,000 in rent. So if we had done that a year ago, we'd be in the black today. So we're already $38,000 ahead for next year. And we changed our financing of how we were, who was running the center, and we have cut $24,000 out of that. And because we signed a new 5-year lease, we have 3 months of free rent. So that's another $27,000. So our budget going into 2026 has a surplus of, we added more money to marketing, which was the lowest amount of money we spent. and it needs to be more. So our budget for 2026, usually we zero out the budget. This year, going into 2026, we have, what is it, like $22,000 for the new budget?
For the net?
For what, yeah, what's the net at the end of the day? 11,000. $11,800 in the black. And that's with extremely conservative numbers. That's not even putting in here for contributions at the amount we raised this year. So I expect this to be a very different story a year from now when we're sitting at this meeting. Did you have a question, Stan?
I just wanted to remind you about the free rent.
Yes. Doug?
Yeah, let me just elaborate a little on that free rent. Dr. James gave you a figure of $30-some-odd thousand a moment ago. Well, that is because our free rent, not our free rent, our reduced rent, actually, that's based on our reduced rent for 2026. Our lease is up the end of February, if I recall. So we're talking about 10 months of a different rent number before we think about the free rent and all that. So 10 months, and we save about $4,000 a month over what our rent was this past year. So that's $40,000. But moving forward, it's a $4,000 a month difference, which is $48,000 at the end of the year. So it's a really nice savings. It was very important that we did what we did, given where we are financially otherwise.
And it's less about a reaction to the negative number. Yes, that's part of it, but it's also being responsible to the money we're spending. It is not responsible to keep spending $14,000 a month for these 2 floors when they're not being used. And so we've moved everything up here, and this space will be used constantly. So anything else on?
Are we going to go through this?
No.
Oh, okay.
As far as the budget's concerned, everyone can have access to the budget. We don't have the budget here for you today, but the board has approved the budget. And anybody that wants the budget can certainly have access to the budget for the coming year.
So I just want to put a little exclamation point on what Dr. James said about the budget. The budget for membership contributions from Westlake is $250,000 for next year. It was $300,000 this year, but our actual was $253,500. So we're looking at that and going, okay, we should comfortably hit $250,000.
Even if you look at the total, our total contribution that we have in the budget for next year is $340,000, and this year we did $363,000. So I don't expect it to go backwards, but the budget is very conservative moving forward.
Yeah.
Good.
That's it.
Okay, and there will be questions. If you have questions, we'll get to those. Okay, next. Thank you. Oh, yes. The other thing is, this is Doug's last year as a board member. So could you do the next slide, Swan? Oh, there you go. I know, right? The first one is Sharon Guthrie. Sharon Guthrie has moved from Palm Springs to Laguna Hills, I believe. And so she was on the board. She is stepping off the board. She is our secretary. I just want to give a round of applause for all the work she has done. Sharon, I'm sure you're out there. Thank you so much. And last but definitely not least, thank you to Doug Draper. For 6 years of service. How many years were you the treasurer for RSI? 12 or 13 years. Do you want to stay for 12 or 13 years? Just kidding. Just kidding.
The bylaws say the treasurer does not have to be a board member.
That is very true, but they do have to be someone who doesn't want to go crazy. Yeah, exactly. So, but again, one more round of applause for all of the work that Doug has done over these years. So we have 2 board positions that are up for grabs. And these are the 2 women that we are asking to take their place. And so I'd like them to come up one at a time. Kathy, you'll go first, please. Come on up and just tell everybody who you are and why you're the perfect person to step onto the board as the secretary. Which, by the way, is the position nobody wants when we go to do it.
That's a heck of a marketing thing. We're having you do it because nobody else wants it.
No, we're having you do it because you actually know how to do it.
Okay, so.
Tell them who you are, Kathy.
Okay. Well, my name is Kathy Gardner. I'm a Reverend Doctor for GTC, and I'm in the Advanced Consciousness class, and this teaching has spoken to me in a way that nothing has in my life. So that being said, what qualifies me for this position, first of all, is my passion for this teaching. Secondly, I've been a secretary for a nonprofit for better than 3 years, so I'm very familiar with that whole process. Plus, I retired from Eisenhower Medical Center, and I'm a nurse, so I took minutes for that group of physicians, and that's also nonprofit, EMC. So it all plays into being maybe overqualified, I guess. But anyway, and I like doing it too, besides.
That's really great.
And
Okay.
I plan to keep Dr. James on task.
You will keep me on task. That's good.
Yes.
It's all recorded, though. I don't have to do anything. Okay, let's bring up, and you can give this microphone to Reverend Dr. Holly.
We've both had knee replacements.
Yes, and Kathy was my nurse through the process, and I can recommend her if anybody's looking for a knee replacement nurse. Okay, I've been in this teaching for about 25 years, and like Kathy, it changed my life. I absolutely love it. So I'm very dedicated to the teaching, and went on to ministry, practitioner ministry, and then doctorate. As far as the finance end of it, I have done finance for, it seems like forever. When I started my own business, I was doing QuickBooks had just started. I was doing my own accounting. I found I loved it. Over the course of probably 25, 30 years, I have done a lot of bookkeeping and accounting for nonprofit organizations, and they are different from businesses. I've done, a couple of education boards, an industry board, and I've been treasurer on all these. My HOA, don't recommend that one. Yeah, that really challenged the spiritual practice, I must say, living, our way of life and so on. And then I've been treasurer at the CSL in Palm Desert. That was 6 years. Temino CSL, which is the CSL in Ukraine. And my own kind of retirement business is bookkeeping, and of course that requires a small business bookkeeping, which requires a knowledge of accounting. And I really like it. So when Dr. James came into Palm Desert, we developed a really good working relationship on finances, and he brought a wonderful, fresh perspective to looking at the finances of a center, and we worked on budgets together and so on and so forth. And since I just love this community, I would really like to be of service in the financial area. So.
Excellent. Thank you, Holly. Holly, you can stay up here. Good.
So can I make a motion?
Please.
To accept both of these excellent candidates by unanimous consent of the membership?
Second.
All in favor?
Seconded by Scott. All in favor?
So moved.
Dr. Kathy, Dr. Holly, welcome to the board. Doug, you can stay up here. You could leave if you want, but you can stay up here just to the end of the meeting. Run. Okay, so that was great, and thank you, both of you, for stepping up and for being part of this. Next. Okay. So, muted? Oh, yeah, turn that. So, we are going to be changing our name starting on March 1st, and the new name of the center is New Thought Now. Take a look at it. That is not the logo. We're still having the logo made. New Thought Now. I'm very enthused by it. New Thought Now. Yes. Press the button. Oh, you didn't see it yet. Swan did it. There you go. New Thought Now, and our slogan underneath it is Unleashing Your Spiritual Potential. So, my husband came up with that. And why? So let me explain to you how this has worked. We have spent, what would we say, 2 years? Has it been about 2 years trying to Stan almost lived through it. 2 years trying to rename this center. We were going to rename it Welcome Home for a very long time. But then people spoke up about not liking it. And, you know, our board is run a very specific way, unlike many boards. We don't go with, you know, the percentage, 51%, that goes. I believe if a board is voting on something, everyone has to be on board 100%, or we continue discussing. I don't ever want a decision to be made on this board where someone feels like they were not heard or that they didn't like the decision we made. So it took us 2 years to just keep going and going and going and going. And then when I thought we had it all figured out, Liza said something at a meeting, and it kind of all got unraveled because she was right. She said, you know what? The name, and it was Welcome Home, it wasn't a call to action. It didn't feel like the activity of what we are and who we are. It didn't have our quantum understanding. And she was right. And I literally left that meeting, and that was only a few months ago. I left that meeting thinking, and we are back to square one with no real name. So then a bunch of us went to brunch. Thor, myself, Tiffany, and Kevin, and someone else. Doug, you were there. Doug. No, Liza wasn't there. We called her. Yeah. So we go to brunch, and we're all talking about how, oh my God, we're back at start. We don't have a name, blah, blah, blah. And I just sat there, and then Kevin started talking about what Liza said, and said, well, and Tiffany did too. Tiffany was like, Liza's right. Whatever our name is, it has to be a call to action. The world needs to know who we are when they look at this. They need to know what we're about. And I just sat there, and then I just said, how about New Thought Now? And Tiffany, who hates everything, went, oh my God, I don't dislike it. And then we all went around the room and we all talked about it. Kevin instantly went, that's it. And we were like, yeah, that's really great. And then Kevin said, unleashing your spiritual potential. And we were like, we like that even better than the name. And so we came with this. Then I called each member of the board personally to say, what do you think of this? And this is where we got. And we're really happy with it. And we took it to the marketing team, and first, Dr. Lori Savage and I took it to ChatGPT and said, to Brad's favorite friend, and said, tell us what you think of this name as a spiritual community. And it came back vibrant, alive, and then it actually said call to action. And Lori and I were like, oh my God, it's giving us everything we want. contemporary. It will register to youth as well as older people. I mean, it was like, we were like, oh my God, it took 2 years, but there we are. And then we took it to the marketing team, and they were very positive. They said, this sets you apart, and it also sets you up. It lets me know what your community's about. And so that's where we are. We're now working with branding to see what the branding, although I like that even, but the branding and the colors, these were the colors that the branding organization, the company we're working with, gave us those colors to look at. And we're still looking at those colors. I don't think you like those colors. So we're still coming into agreement with what the colors are. But we do have a deadline. We want this all done by March 1st because they just started working on the new website. So all of this we want done by March 1st, where we literally launch New Thought Now into the world. And this is from this is from Lisa. First of all, we love "Together we are walking each other home." That's just one of our slogans. But this is what Lisa wrote. We are an experiential spiritual center grounded in love, presence, and community. Living as our best selves comes from the heart, where nothing separates us from the divine. Oneness lets us live fully present to each moment with gratitude for all that we are.
Wow. Yeah.
So that your wife wrote that. Yes, your wife wrote that. Yes. And we have a number of other things too that will go on. Obviously, love only, forgive everything, remember who you are will always be centerpiece of our community. We're not doing those. Yes. And now, open discussion. Any questions you have about anything? Liz. Yeah, Kevin, could you help with the microphones to people that might... Oh, it's right there. Oh, great. I didn't see it. Pull it down. Yeah.
Okay, so when someone asks, what is New Thought Now? What's the elevator pitch?
What's the line underneath it?
Well, no, but I mean, so
We're
is
a
it
spiritual
is it
community.
A place? It doesn't say spiritual community.
No, it doesn't say there.
Yeah.
You say we are a spiritual community committed to unleashing our spiritual potential. Okay. Yeah.
Can I answer that?
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to say that's a really good question because a lot of where we're building from here is the consciousness that we give you all as members of the community the tools to share when you're talking about your spiritual community. What is it? That we're all coming from the same page of awareness and understanding. So we will give you the elevator notes, the comfort to where you can just say it like, oh, well, what a lot of that mission statement said. So that when you have that question, you're not in this, oh my God, what do I say? How do I do it? How do I frame it? So that you feel comfortable speaking about your centers and sharing that with your friends.
So one of the things that I'm getting from the essence of what you are trying to, and we are trying to create, is something that's universal. That goes
yes
beyond,
and no.
It goes beyond just us in this location. And so my point is that I feel, for me, what might actually work really well is this is a universal spiritual community. And if they ask, it's beyond the walls. We go beyond the walls of this location because that's all you're talking about.
Yes, that's true. We mostly say non-denominational too, so that people understand we are not a specific denomination. We are an amalgamation of all truths. Yeah.
I would like to just complement that to say one of the things that we've been noodling around is that we are experiential, because I think a lot of people are looking for ways to come to that feeling of oneness, that understanding that it's universal, but bring it into their personal experience. And that's a really key expression, that people are looking for ways to embody this teaching and how it makes you feel. So in addition to the spiritual center, we've got the sound baths, we've got the 9D breath work.
Right.
We do so much in the community. We're going to be coming up with other programs as well, but the
Do
key
you want to mention
word,
one?
I'm working on a consciousness that I'd like to bring to the center, and it's going to be about movement and how your body moves and with your mind and how it comes into a state of oneness and playfulness. So that's what it's going to be about. But I think it's great that you bring that consciousness, because all of that universal falls into your experience as yourself in one of the universe. So I think if we can key on those things,
And the reason I said yes and no is for this reason. We did research on New Thought. I founded the NoHo Arts Center for New Thought. When I did that over 25 years ago, New Thought, most people didn't know what the hell we were talking about. We even went and did this video where I went down to the Disney Center with a camera crew and stopped people on the street, asking them, do you know what New Thought is? Not a one knew what it was. That has shifted in 25 years. New Thought now is very common, way more than Global Truth Center, which we'd really have to take time to understand what we're doing, or even Centers for Spiritual Living. Most people don't know who they are either, but they know New Thought. And when I said not yes and no, when you said universal, I misunderstood what you meant. Are we trying to appeal to everyone? You can't. We could not. Am I trying to appeal to everyone that knows what New Thought is and is interested in New Thought? Yes. The Joe Dispenza followers, the Marianne Williamson followers, the Oprah Winfrey followers. All of that's the market that we need to reach out to. New Thought brings them in. And so we did the research on that and found that out. So any other questions? Tiffany.
On the side of your slide, it said, together we're walking each other home. How does that play into it? Because it sounds like we're all going to drink a bunch of Kool-Aid and walk into the ocean.
Lisa, that's yours.
Okay. Where I was coming from with that was that feeling of what you get when you are home to yourself, when you are around your family that you consider your home, and that it has the action of do it now that plays into that.
You're not going to win with this particular person. But here's the thing. Now that you've said it, I can't not hear it.
Yeah, that one might need to be. I'm with it. I love it. I'm on board. That needs to be tweaked.
Okay.
You know,
Ram
Dass said that.
Ram Dass.
That's based on a Ram.
Did you hear what Tiffany just said? He shouldn't have. Yeah. Yes, he did. Yes. Yeah. So thank you, Tiffany. Oh, it's a theme song? Good. Stand. Oh, too bad. Anyway, what you see here today, other than New Thought Now and unleashing your spiritual potential, it's all a work in progress. So thank you, Tiffany. We will probably lose that now. Yes. Not a problem.
But we're keeping the microchips.
Yes. Any other questions? Glenda, come to the mic.
I like the name. It doesn't give me a sense of the fact that we are a place also. It doesn't say the Center for New Thought Now or the New Thought Now Center. So I would like something subliminal that indicates that you have a place to go to incorporate this in your life.
Yes.
It's not just a motto.
Well, we will let, the website is being designed specifically that when people go there, they will know that we are here.
Okay, good.
So, but we want them to think of us less as that church in that on that corner than as a spiritual movement out in the world. But they will know that we are here.
Okay, good. Which
Good point.
leads me to my real question, which is financial. Who's paying for the wall?
The landlord.
Oh, good.
Oh, no, we've done a very good job. Yeah, the landlord's paying for the wall, but we had to pay to move everything from downstairs to upstairs. Mexico's paying for the wall. Is that what you meant? That was very funny.
Well,
Who's paying for the wall?
Yeah.
Mexico. No. So we have to pay.
I'm not that global.
Thank you. We had to pay for everything to be brought from downstairs to upstairs, which my husband worked tirelessly to get done, which is also why we have some, things that we're still working on
Are
here.
you talking about the cabinetry?
Everything was wired from up there all the way to downstairs in the room downstairs, the control room. Everything's now gone. It's all here.
Okay.
That cost us.
And
Not,
who organized the forks and plates? They did a marvelous job.
that's Marilyn.
Oh,
And also Scott Gibb, who did it on his 70th birthday.
Yes.
Let's give it up for Scott.
wonderful job.
And Scott Gibb is the reason why, and Marilyn is the reason why we had slides today. They figured this out, yes. So, of course, yes. Oh, any other questions? Sonny, if you had, Marilyn, go ahead. Sonny, come up to the mic.
You mentioned sound bath, soul immersion being once a month. I'd like to propose that it be more than once a month, as it used to be.
Well, here's the thing. We're going to start with once a month for a reason, to really try to grow the congregate, grow the audience. Because to bring everybody in here twice when we're still only like 10, 12 people, I'd like to grow it. And if we can grow it to the point where we need to do it twice a month, then we can. I'm trying to use people's time and talent responsibly.
Okay.
Yes. We are looking at 2 other activities like Lisa's, and so that every week there's something different.
Okay.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying. I loved it twice a month. I loved being here for myself. So yeah, I get that. Sonny?
Yeah, at first when I looked at the slide, I loved it, and I loved the colors too. The blue and the green are the colors of life. But the word unleashing implies that you're leashed, and I've never been leashed. And and how can potential be leashed? It doesn't make sense.
Okay.
So I would take out.
I don't hear unleashing and think that I'm suddenly not leashed. Unleashing just means to let go of your spiritual potential.
Okay, but it has.
But you heard
But
it
it
that
hit
way.
me that way. And I work with words for a living, and I like if I have a song that I know, but I mean if I'm bringing right, but you have to choose words that can't be taken another way.
Yeah. Well, that is impossible. Yeah. But
You can put influence and line reading under any single word that's ever been created.
Right.
That is
yeah.
untrue.
So,
Right, but the
so here's the
word
thing.
"un"
We
is
took
negative.
it to ChatGPT
Yeah.
and asked it, what do you think of these 3 words? And we took to Claude too. Is it Claude or Clyde? Claude. We went to all of the AIs. Unleashing was the word that came out as powerful, strong, attractive. Yeah. Even unleash was one of them. What was the other one? What was the other one, Tiffany? Your spiritual potential. It wasn't discovering, it was something else. But anyway, unleashing one. Unlock your spiritual. Yeah, Judd.
But you see,
Right, but it's
any word you say, the reverse
Uncovering means that,
into your cover.
yeah, that you've had it covered.
Right.
I can take any word we put in there and give you the opposite of it.
We have been wordsmithing this for months.
Yeah, but I understand
Right,
what
Lisa
you're saying.
came up with a whole, and we went back, and I didn't like family, because it sounded cultish. We've rejected a lot of
right.
words,
And
adjectives
family
so
means
forth.
a different thing to
I
different
think
people.
this-
Right.
I think the sentence, unleashing your spiritual potential, is powerful and positive. And
Right.
someone could easily go, oh, yeah, but do they think I'm leashed? I think
Right.
that will be a very small group of people.
I think
And I have to be okay with that. And you're one of them.
I think that also, to me personally, it's like a freedom. You're giving yourself freedom.
Right, but some of us are already free.
Yes, I get that. So here's the thing, Sonny.
You know,
Unfortunately, that's how you see it, but I have to make decisions based on the aggregate, the larger group, and I just don't see it that way, and most people don't.
well, just consider choosing, you know, like live your
We've got, no,
spiritual-
you have no
like
idea.
something that's
No, we
only
will not
positive.
consider.
Live, then it means you're not living.
Hold on,
That's my
hold on, Kevin,
No, it
hold on.
doesn't.
I'm telling you this, we have considered for 2 years, word after word after word, this is where we are, and this is where we're staying with those two things.
Yeah.
So, thank you, though.
But, and,
Every word implies it's
Honey, we get it.
and I also, what she said right before me about it's like, if you didn't know, if you weren't already here and love it, is it a book? Is it, what is it?
Yeah, that's why
So
the
like-
website will make everything very clear.
And when you
so
said
will we.
spiritual center, like, oh, New Thought Now, spiritual center, maybe.
And you know what? Spiritual center, you put it into ChatGPT, it tells you to run from it.
Really?
Yes. People,
say that to your friends when you're presenting it. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
it may not
this is where I go.
I go to the New Thought Spiritual Center.
Yeah.
New Thought Now Spiritual Center. Like, we're not saying this is what you all need to say all the time and nothing else.
right,
You know what I mean? Like, here,
Right.
Yeah, whatever you need to say.
whatever it
right.
is for you. Like, maybe unleashing doesn't resonate with you, but maybe creating a living does.
Right.
That's how you invite others in.
And just so you know, again, we have worked on this for 2 years. And we have done the research to what New Thought means, to what spiritual centers mean. And we're at a time where people are running from church, running away from religion. We have worked very tirelessly to make sure that what we're presenting is who we are
Right.
and is way more inviting than Global Truth Center or a spiritual center or a center for spiritual living. Center for Spiritual Living right now, I believe the number is 62%. They have lost 62% of their membership.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what's happening in the world. I don't know what period of time, but that was the percentage that just came to me.
Wow.
So, yeah, if you have a question, you have to come to the mic.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Kevin,
Hey, nice to be here.
nice to see you.
So tell me, I know, right? So how does that now change our relationship with religious science? How are we presenting ourselves as a new entity rebranded? Is that changing how we're teaching or the accent to it or how much emphasis? Because, I mean, New Thought then isn't New Thought now. So
Right.
really- right. So, and it's been an ongoing change, our relationship as a church.
We do
as
not
a
just
center.
teach religious science at this church. And here's the thing, Ernest Holmes will still be the founding teaching, the foundation of our teaching. But Ernest Holmes was not really part of religious science, so to speak. He was a philosopher. So his philosophy was meant to cover all religions. Remember, he says this is not a separate teaching. This is an enhancement to all teachings. So that's how we've always taught this science. If you were in Tiffany's class right now, in practitioner class, I have created a brand new curriculum for practitioner studies, which has as much to do with quantum science as it does with Ernest Holmes. So that's kind of where we are.
And I certainly understand that. I understand
Well,
that.
you've been in-
But we're presenting it in a new way, correct? Like this, we're launching.
Yeah.
So the emphasis is on Ernest as a teacher? Not
No.
so no.
It's on all of it.
It's on all of it.
Yes, it
It's
will have
part of-
Joe Dispenza on the page. It will have Ernest Holmes on the page. It will go back to Aristotle. We will quote lots of people.
Also, to the point that we were speaking earlier,
give that to Liza.
Sorry, I think the whole point of it is that it's more of an experiential. Like that's really, I think, at the core of what we want to bring across here is that you're not coming here to be pontificated to. You're here, I know, sorry. We are experiencing all this together. And when we experience it together, there's so much more that comes out of it. And I think when we're talking about new thought now, I also think that we're bringing this even bigger. This is what it is now, but I don't know, we may change it to something else. But right now, what we're doing, especially with now, is experiencing something greater so that we can take it out into the world and continue this contagion of experience, like uplifting right now when we need it more than ever.
But I think what you're asking, Kevin, too, is are we going to lose the thrust of the Ernest Holmes religious science teachings? The answer to that is no.
I mean, it's our DNA.
Yeah.
It is our DNA.
But we have to grow from
Right,
it.
we have to grow from it because it's dying otherwise.
Yeah.
Yes. So a question on the practical, what is...
Come closer because I can't hear you at home.
What is the actual mandatory continuing education for practitioners? What's the requirement for those of us that need to take?
All practitioners must take an 8-week course every year, approved by me. Cosolito came to me with what he was doing. It was great. I was like, yeah, go do it and come back and teach it. So, yeah, it's up to the student to find it. Many of them take them with me because I'm ongoing as I learn. So a lot of people have taken advanced consciousness, as have you. Some of them have taken Joe Dispenza classes, but I need to see what they are and what you're learning. Yeah, but every practitioner to keep their license has to do an 8-week course at least, or an infusion of something. If someone's going away for a 10-day full immersified retreat, I'm good with that too.
Okay, good, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Genevieve. Sorry, guys. Genevieve, and then I will let you all go. You've all been great to stay through all of this. Go ahead.
I love it. So just want to throw that out there. I think
Thank
it's
you.
wonderful for so many different reasons. It hits so many different marks, and it is active, and it also explains what it is. So I think it's perfect. So good job. But my next question is, I'm really excited about the name. I love the idea of it, and I love that it's so descriptive of what we're doing. What is the plan though for like actually expanding the center? Like, is there something that we can do other than, I mean, I know we're talking about community things and stuff like that, but I'm just wondering, like, what is there like a larger vision for the center itself, like with the new name and everything? Like, what's kind of...
Yeah. If you're talking about what are we going to do to expand the people coming into this room?
That's part of it. That and
that,
beyond.
That and.
Both.
I'm more interested in what are we doing to expand the people coming into that room back there, that camera. Because whether you know it or not, and you'll know it now, many of our contributors don't ever step foot in this room. And we just had a contributor just write to me yesterday saying, I want to join, I want to have membership, and I want to have a monthly tithe taken out of my credit card every month. This person lives in Chicago, but they've never been in this room. So that's what I'm looking for. And to do that, social media is a big part of it. To be out in the world social media-wise, but not just me. Yeah. It's going to take all of our practitioners and ministers to start creating their own ministries that funnel back to Global Truth Center. There are people that come here now because they want to hear Dr. Liza speak. So and that's what I'm talking about. There are people coming here because they want to hear Tiffany speak. That's what's important.
I have kind of an idea. It's very kind of base, but maybe we could have a get together, right? Talking specifically about content, and every practitioner's unique kind of content and voice, and how we could individually kind of get word out in our own way and like kind of get together and talk about ideas, like, because everybody's so different and everybody sort of has different reaches.
Yeah, and it's on the
right?
agenda for Tuesday night at the practitioner meeting.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Karen already has it on the agenda.
But I think in answer to your question, part of the thing that hasn't really been emphasized today, and what's part of the intention of all these changes, is to attract younger people.
Yes.
Because that's what they want. They want an experiential experience, not church.
Yes.
We've spoken at this
That
length.
is true, yeah.
And so that's where the growth comes from, is drawing in a younger crowd and, you know, maybe more families with children. And
Thus, the podcast
There you go.
with this young kid starting us off. And my son also, he wants to do a podcast with me to talk to his group of people. We need to do these things. And look at this stage, look at this room. This is a perfect room to produce podcasts, talk shows, to take, we can create so much content.
Yeah, right here.
And send it out into the world. And that's how we get people into this room. It's less about, most of your friends probably aren't interested in church. So when you try to get your friends to come to church, probably that's a difficult thing to do. If you sent them a TikTok of something one of us did, and it was interesting, and like, oh, I think that way too, then they might have you may have a way in. So that's what we're looking at.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, everyone, I think the last slide, Swan, oh no, that was the last slide. That is the last slide. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for coming. And I just want to close. I'm going to give Doug Draper the gift of closing us out today with a treatment, because don't roll your eyes. You should have run earlier. Here you go. Treat us out with the best quantum treatment you could ever give.
Thank you so much for this delightful opportunity, Dr. James. So in closing, I invite you all to just relax. Be right where you are. Follow your breath. And know with me that this has been a wonderful year for this organization. And we have outlined a path to an even better year in 2026, where we can tell people what New Thought Now means, where we can invite them to check out our website, and where they will see opportunities for experience and growth, and they will understand what unleashing your spiritual potential means. So I know that this has been a wonderful meeting. I know that all that needed to be said was said, and I am grateful for that, grateful for this group of people who together form this wonderful spiritual center, this dynamic force that evolves and moves into the coming year with excitement and enthusiasm. And so it is.
Thank you, everybody.